It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. My name is Ashley. People call me AJ. My teammates just call me AJ. I'm a coach. People call me AJ. It's fine. I don't want to get all into that. I'm just gonna tell you why I'm even talking to you right now. I decided to write a book about my life, not even my life, about relationships, about my experiences, and it really started out as a letter of truth, and it somehow turned into an entire book, and I called it Thank God I'm Single for Now. And I'm just gonna do a series on this. This is just the first chapter. I'm gonna do something different. I don't even know if this has ever been done before, but I didn't write the book really to sell it, but of course I published it, so of course I want to sell it. But I didn't necessarily, like I said, write the book. I didn't start out writing it thinking it was going to be a book. It really started out as a letter of truth and me just finally just cleansing myself of everything I ever lied about, everything. I was just tired. I had reached a point where I was like, okay, everybody come to that point where you just be like, I'm tired of this. Something got to change. And I had come to a crossroads, of course we all do, where you make a mistake and you mess up in life, or with a partner or with yourself, and you just mess up bad, and you're like, yo, how did I get here? And I'm gonna explain the situation. We'll get all into that. This is just the intro, right? So long story short, this letter turned into letter to myself. It was really to one of my exes, but it was a letter to myself as well, because I had got to a point where I was upset about being lied to, or feeling like I was lied to, or whatever the case might be. And then I got to a point where I kind of had to take a look at myself. And I know that's so crazy, but I was just like driving myself insane, because things happen and you can't control the things around you. I didn't even start hitting record. Good job, Ashley. Anyway, this started out as a letter to myself about me just telling my truths. Everything that I could think of that I had ever lied about or ever said or did and just didn't come clean. You know how you tell some of the truth, you don't tell the whole truth. So help you God, you just tell pieces of the truth. And because you know that maybe you made a mistake, whatever the case might be, it's not the whole truth. Bottom line is, it started as a letter and it turned into an entire book called Thank God I'm Single for Now. Thank God I'm Single for Now. What does that mean? To me, well, let's go to the book actually. Like I said, it started out as a letter for me. I had gotten to a point in my life where I wanted to cleanse myself and, you know, just free myself of the past. I felt like I was like, man, something got to change. And finally, it started, like I said, it started as a letter of truth to myself, or to my ex, and then to myself. And then once I did that and freed myself, and I'll tell you the crossroads in which this scene happened. It wasn't the easiest scene in my life, okay? But I just decided to write my truths, and it turned into a book. And I figure, you know, I got into a situation where it's like, you know, if I'm gonna mess up and people are gonna find out about it, maybe, you know, and it's pretty embarrassing. Maybe I did, because, you know, when you make mistakes, it's like, dang, I don't want nobody to know because you messed up. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the situation and I'm gonna write about it, because I'd rather tell what happened to me, why I did what I did, or why I, you know, go through, you know, how I went through what, you know, being single and, you know, relationships and people knowing you and going, I just had to tell my truth, because I figured people gonna talk about you. Not saying that I'm special or anything, but everybody's special in their own neighborhood, you know. You don't gotta be a celebrity. You can just be somebody that's known at your church or some group or whatever. You know, people like to be in your business, and who better to tell them? I'm thinking like Rabbit from 8 Mile. Who better to tell them than me? If somebody's gonna talk crap about my mistakes, my flaws, all the things that embarrass me, all the things that have been done and I've been ashamed of, embarrassed, whatever, I'd rather be the one to say it. So I figure, hey, if anybody gonna talk about me, I'd rather be me. So like I said, I wrote this not intending for it to be a book, but it turned into one. And I've never felt more free because I felt like that was the final thing I needed to do before I could really start to change. And that truth was what I'm about to read to you right now, okay? I've never done this before. I don't know anything about trying to sell a book. All I know is I had to tell my truth because maybe it could just help somebody else. And I know it is because you know what? I have conversations with lots of people about relationships, and because I'm so strong and single, I figure, hey, why not start talking about this and help other people figure out how they can get this type of mentality, because it wasn't easy. And I'm like, thank God that I wrote this out, because now I can record a video and it could be here forever to help somebody in need. The audio will be here forever. I mean, thank God for technology, man. So let's begin. This is AJ. I'm just gonna say Ashley. My name is AJ, but this is gonna be my gift to whomever takes the time to listen, to watch. Hopefully you buy the book. If you don't, hey, I guess you just got free information. You want to take video, but I think it's just easier to have the book, you know what I'm saying? Because you can go back and kind of read and touch it and feel it, and, you know, and then, it's just because of support, I'm giving you something free right now. You can watch the whole book. I don't even know, this don't even make any sense to read the whole book, because that's what I'm going to do. Read the whole book, because it's a conversation. Like I said, I never wrote this to sell it. I really didn't. Of course it's good to sell it. I know ET is gonna get on me about saying this, because he's like, bro, this is why you got that bit. Nah, but promise, bro, I got so many books in my head, right? This one I really just did because I needed to cleanse myself, and I know there's so many people out there right now that just, you're not walking in your own truth, meaning that you're not being true to yourself, or you're just not even sure of yourself, right? So I'm gonna read through this book. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can pause it and have a conversation and answer the questions back. I'm going to ad-lib a little bit, but the book, I promise you, I gave it my all. I hope it helps. Let's get into it right now. All right. Thank God I'm Single for Now by Ashley, AJ Necole. Thank God I'm single for now. To all those who have found themselves single in a situation or a relationship and want to walk through this journey of self-awareness and self-love, because that's what I wrote the book for. I had to explain my journey to self-awareness and self-love, because to be honest, I just didn't have it. I didn't even know I didn't have it until I realized I just hated being single, right? Sometimes you don't even know. Sometimes people like being single. That's your business. This is just my experience. I was trying to avoid being alone. So I wrote this to have a conversation, right? Oh, man. So this book is just basically me asking you questions, and I'm asking myself these questions, and then I'm asking you the questions, and you answer back, of course. Hopefully it gets you to thinking about your situation. But like I said, this is my truth. This isn't for me to put my perspectives on you. I'm just sharing what I went through, how I went through it, and how I got through it. That's it. I hope you can take it and use it, some of it, a piece of it, none of it. Give you an idea how to get around whatever you're going through, but I think it's helpful to hear somebody share their story. And like I said, I want to leave something here that people can actually use, so that's why I did it. Now, first question is, what do you think "thank God I'm single" means? And it's such a controversial subject, because people think, there's so many ways you can take that, "thank God I'm single." What do you mean, "thank God I'm single"? No, thank God I'm single for now, okay? Not thank God I'm single forever. All right? I'm not saying that. Of course not. But you know what? If it makes you feel a certain way to hear "thank God I'm single for now," if it makes you feel a certain way, maybe you don't want to be by yourself. And it's okay, because sometimes we're just not aware of certain things. I didn't know I didn't want to be by myself. In the book I wrote, it means to find joy in this phase of our lives. While we're single, we have an opportunity to prepare for relationships, or to look back, reflect, learn from others, and from our past. We have time to figure it out. We got time to figure it out. How to create a better life by focusing, which is hard, especially if you just broke up with somebody, or you're in between a situation. Of course it's gonna be hard, but it takes practice makes perfect. And if you can fall in love, you can fall in love with yourself, okay? If you can fall in love with somebody else, it's so much easier to fall in love with yourself. You can control both people, yourself and yourself. Anyway, by focusing on the relationship we have or don't have with ourselves, most of the time you don't know you don't have a relationship with yourself. You just know you don't want to be alone because you're so used to being with this person. And when they're not around, you hate the time you spend alone because you have somehow, or you've never gotten a chance to know yourself, and there's nothing that you do for yourself anymore, to the point where you just don't even want to spend time with yourself no more. And some of this, like, granted, I know some people are gonna be like, what the heck do you mean? Don't take this the wrong way. This is just for me. This happened to me. That's why I'm saying this. So thank God I'm single for now means having understanding that only you can make you happy. And that sounds so cliche. I know, it does. It sounds like it's not even true, but it's really true. Like, it is. It means understanding that only you can make you happy, because people don't believe that. And to be happy with someone else, we have to learn to be happy while we're single. This is just my experience, okay? Because I started dating at 14, right? I'm gonna get to it in the book. Let me not get off track. All right. So did you plan to be single? Why or why not? Me, did I plan? Of course not. I don't think nobody plans on being single. But then again, people don't plan on being in relationships either. Did you? Did you plan on being in your first relationship? I think it started like it started for me. You start liking someone. Next thing you know, you like them a lot. You start talking to them. Then you want to talk to them all the time. And then I don't know how it goes. You know, you now social media makes it so much easier. But back in the day, it was like you had to start a conversation, and then you got the phone number, the house phone number. The phone wasn't with them on their hip all day. It was just so much more discipline back in the day that we just didn't have that. But I literally did not plan to be in a relationship. It kind of just happened. It's just like, I think people don't plan on being single. It kind of just happens. I don't think people plan to stay single. It kind of just happens. Ooh, you know, my whole lip on the mic. Kind of just happens. So since none of us usually plan to be single, we may not take this time frame for what it is. Let's just be real, because I know I did. It took me a couple years for me to, you know, really figure out what I should be doing, right? Of course, it takes a couple years for you to, like, or not even a couple years, however long. Some people get right back into relationships. Me, after my second, I just didn't do it. It's just, I got married, so it wasn't that just that simple. So I wouldn't advise jumping right back into a relationship, but we're gonna get to that, okay? So, of course, none of us plan to be single. We don't take the time frame. Usually, I didn't. We don't take the time frame for what it is. Of course, you don't want to think about being single, so you go out, start dating, messing around, partying, drinking, having fun. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do to keep from feeling like you're alone. At least that's what I did. I don't know what you did. You know what you did. You can't lie to yourself. You can try. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to know that you're lying but you. But if you've never had time and space while you're single to figure out what the heck happened to your last relationship, like me, I went from a marriage into marriage, divorce, and right back into a relationship. And then I had to go cold turkey because, man, relationship. Anyway, I don't want to get off track. Okay, but usually we don't do what we're supposed to do during that time frame. And usually you don't even know what to do. Ain't no handbook on being single or being in a relationship. So how are you supposed to know? Well, there's probably handbooks, but I wasn't caught up on reading about relationships. At least I don't remember. Back in the day, I was too young to even think about that. I just wanted to feel my way through, which is so irresponsible. But when you're young, that's what you do. You use your emotions to coast, and it's the wrong type of energy because your emotions are just so unpredictable. But when we separate ourselves from a relationship or situation, many of us go through extreme changes in everyday life. I already know. Moving out, I think that's the worst thing that can happen is moving in with somebody and then having to move out. I think it could be the greatest day of your life when somebody moves in, and then when they move out, it's like a nightmare. Like, how did we go from cupcakes and celebration and balloons moving in, and then it's time to move out? And it's sometimes, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody. But for me, I'm not even gonna say what I'm thinking, but for me, it was hard when separating, moving out. I just remember it really becoming real that day. That, okay, and then it's like I think it's because of the privileges you have when you stay with somebody. You get access to them 24/7, And when they move out of your space, you don't have access to them the same way. It's almost like you get used to control in a sense. And that's a whole nother, I'm gonna get into this. See how good this content is? I could just get off. We can go into like branches of subjects because there's just so many layers to this relationship and being single, right? It can be hard not to react or have moments where we get emotional about changes and do things just because we have lonely moments. Now, everybody know about the lonely moments, don't y'all? Be honest. Be honest. Raise your hand right now, wherever you are, if you've ever been lonely. Okay? Just admit it. Okay? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure Beyonce's been lonely. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Will Smith has been lonely. I'm sure Jada Pinkett has been lonely. I'm sure everybody on this planet has been lonely. I'm sure. But you can't just do stuff because you're lonely. You can't. I'm telling you because I learned the hard way. Unless you want to pay the price, okay? Because to me, when you it's because you're in your feelings and you're lonely. You're like, I need something. Nah, don't do that. This is like something we do to cope. Like, we do this to cope because we don't plan for relationships to end. At least some of us don't, but things happen, right? Things happen. Don't nobody plan for a relationship to end. Like I said, people don't plan for them to start either. So you got to get smart eventually. I'm not going to double dip all my advice and ad libs. I'm going to try to stick to the book. I'm sorry, but this is why you're getting it for free. If you read the book, you could read it straight through. Okay, so I'm not going to read it like you want me to read it. Possibly not. I'm sorry to the people that, why don't you just get to the book? But this is kind of why I'm doing it for free, because I get to do it how I want to do it. And since you haven't paid for it, some of y'all have, thank you, shout out to y'all. If you haven't paid for it, it's like, yo, I'm giving it to you for free. Okay, let me give it to you the way I want to give it to you. Okay, it's free. Let me cook it the way I want to cook it, all right? It's free 99. Anyway, okay, so I'm still on page 2, y'all. I've been in a situation where I've jumped into a marriage because it made sense for the situation, but I wasn't necessarily in love. No disrespect to my ex. We were young. You know that, all right? It just made sense, right? I know some people are in situations right now that are not in love, but they're not going to say it. They're not going to say it. And I know. I've been there. It's hard. And I didn't even know that I wasn't in love. And I'm sure he knows that we were in like or lust or whatever you want to call it and got married, but we weren't in love. We didn't even establish a friendship. I think you have to have a friendship to be in love that way. But like I said, that's to me. You can have a whole different experience. That's why it's my opinion. It's my book. So this is I'm not trying to put my opinions on you because you could disagree because you had a different experience. No, no pun intended. Nothing like that. But basically, this is what happened to me. I ended, where am I? Okay. I said I wasn't necessarily in love. I've also been in a relationship where I felt I was truly in love, but I lost myself in the situation. Oh my God. I don't know what's worse, marrying the wrong person or getting the right person and then losing yourself because you become obsessed with control and you don't have a purpose, you don't have self-love or whatever the case might be. You get something, it's like getting something good too early and you're not ready for it. I don't know what's worse, marrying the wrong person or getting the right person too early. I don't know what's worse. Y'all tell me what's worse. What's worse, marrying the wrong person or meeting the right person and y'all just too young and it don't work out? Tell me on that in the comments, right? So, I ended my last relationship because I was losing emotional control of myself. Oh my gosh, ain't nothing worse. I'm so happy I can talk about this openly because I'm sure people was talking about me in college and after college. I don't care because I wrote a book about it. And you know what? All of y'all got something in your closet like Eminem. I'm cleaning out my closet. I wrote a whole book on it. I don't have nothing to hide. Well, there's some things I probably don't want people to know, but you know what? At the end of the day, all of us have things that we don't want people to know. But I'm not ashamed of nothing, and that's why I wrote it, because I've grown and I've learned, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm not perfect even now, right? I'm not perfect, but I ain't out here just trifling and doing wrong. I am not, okay? That's why I wrote the book, because me living in my truth can help somebody else live in theirs, and you can discover yours, and you won't be afraid to do things, because at the end of the day, a lot of us are in situations or not in situations we want to be in because we're afraid of something. Whatever that might be, I don't know.